Bitcoin is trading at $95,000 and we have official bear market confirmation. This is now 100% confirmed according to the strategy that I will share in this video, which means that if that is indeed correct, we are looking at potentially another 50 to 60% lower in the price of Bitcoin in the next 12 months, meaning we are targeting potentially $50,000 or even $40,000 Bitcoin. And if Bitcoin is going a lot lower, most altcoins are going way, way lower. That's the relationship that there is there. So this video is probably the most important video of the year in terms of a major event that you need to be aware of for these technicals. So grab your favorite beverage and let's dive in. By the way, if you enjoy these updates, I do analysis like this every single day inside my Discord. I share charts, I share data, I share liquidation maps, and I share my own real-time trade ideas. If you want more of that, if you want to learn from me, the link in the description down below. Come and join my VIP. It's risk-free for 60 days, 100% money-back guarantee, no strings attached. If you don't like it, you can get your money back. But if you come and join, you can learn everything that I know about crypto, about trading, and get all my analysis in real time every single day. The link is in the description down below. Okay, so it finally happened. We got a close below the 50-week moving average. So this is the weekly chart of Bitcoin, the 50 simple moving average here in blue. And as you can see here, once we reclaimed this 50-week moving average at the beginning of 2023, we have been in a bull market ever since. And I actually turned bullish. That's publicly on the YouTube channel that I said once we reclaim this, the bull market is back. And now we are simply at the opposite, because you can see since the beginning of 2023, the price stayed above and it retested it every single time, but it did not get a single weekly close below since it reclaimed it at the beginning of 2023. And now, as you can see here, we just had the first weekly close well below the 50-week moving average. And what this means, quite simply, is that it confirms that the trend has now changed from high time frame weekly bullish to high time frame weekly bearish. And as long as we are below this 50-week moving average, now the strategy has changed. We are expecting lower lows and lower highs, and we are expecting more downside over the next 12 months. So again, nobody knows the future for sure, but now the probabilities have shifted, confirmed. And what this means is until we get a weekly close back above, right? So it is not impossible that at some point they just close back above. And in that case, the bearish trend is invalidated, or the bearish idea is invalidated, and we can flip to bull again. It's that simple. Once we're above the 50-week moving average, we're bullish. And once we're below it, well, then any moves up and any retests probably lead to lower. And what I'm about to show you now also is just historically where this has happened, right? So this is the log scale of Bitcoin. You can see here on the charts, and where I put the red arrows is the exact same moment in the previous cycles what has happened. And you can see very clearly it's the start of what people call the bear market. And anyway, a bear market, the terms bull and bear market are, in my opinion, just really stupid because they don't mean anything. And people throw them around to sound smart. But what is a bear market? Like, you have to give a technical definition of a bear market. And a bear market is simply a high time frame bearish trend. So a bearish trend on the weekly, and a bearish trend, the technical definition of that, means making lower highs and lower lows. It's that simple. So we are now in a high time frame bearish trend, which means we are going to be making lower highs and lower lows until that trend gets invalidated with a higher high or a reclaim of the 50-week moving average. That's technically how you can explain it and how you can approach it. So what we can see here is that, okay, let's go back to the previous cycle, 2021. We lost the 50-week moving average with a close, right? You can see no close below. Even here, this was a retest. Then we closed below. And from that point, when we closed below that 50-week moving average, we dropped another 66% over a period of about a year before we hit the bottom. So we went from 47,000 to 16,000 as the bear market lows. So in the cycle before that, in 2018, price had already dropped quite significantly from the all-time high before it got the close below. But from the moment that we actually closed below, we ended up dropping another 58% over a period of 37 weeks. You can argue a little bit longer, a little bit shorter, but call about 37 weeks, so just about 9 months over there. And then the previous bear market, even in 2014, right? Once we lost the 50-week moving average, same thing over here, we dropped another 70%, and probably about a year of bear market and sideways before the thing started moving up. So this is the data, guys. This is not my opinion. This is literally the data. 3 cycles in a row since 2009. Every time this has happened, this has been the case. So now we have closed back down below, and that means that if we were to drop another 50%, we'd be looking at $50,000 Bitcoin. 60% would be somewhere in the 40,000s. So based on this, my own strategy is if we are below the 50-week moving average, then I'm expecting lower. It's a high time frame bear trend. Number one, I don't want to be holding spot, because if this bear trend plays out, Bitcoin is going 50% lower and altcoins are probably going 80 to 90% lower. In fact, altcoins are probably going to get completely wrecked, because that has always been the relationship, right? Bitcoin goes down, altcoins go down even more. They get destroyed. There's no liquidity. So number one, personally, again, I'm not a financial advisor. You do with your own money what you want. You make your own decisions. This is for me personally. I don't want to be holding any altcoin spot. I don't want to be holding any BTC spot, because it's going to go lower. So my strategy, if then, number one, I get out of the markets of spot. That saves me from losing 50 to 80%, 50% on BTC, 80, 90% on altcoins over the next 12 months, which number one is a massive waste of opportunity cost, right? Your capital is locked up, your capital is diminishing, plus mentally it's just exhausting if it is a bear market to hold on to a losing position, and every day see your portfolio go less and less and less for like a year. There's no point. And then the second step is to actually short this market. So in a bull market, what you want to do is you want to buy dips, because the expectation is it's a bullish trend making higher highs and higher lows. So every dip is an opportunity to buy the dip. Now, the same thing for the bear market, but the inverse, because we're going to expect that it's going lower. So it doesn't go down in one straight line. It will make lower highs and lower lows, right? So every single time it makes a higher low, and we can look at this technically, I want to be looking for shorts. I want to be looking for swing shorts and day trading shorts. And the strategy becomes, instead of buy the dips, we sell the rips. And this is obviously just Bitcoin. Okay, it will work the same on Ethereum. It will work the same on altcoins. And obviously altcoins are probably going to move a lot faster than Bitcoin, but I like to focus on Bitcoin, and I'm happy with that. So I can just trade purely Bitcoin, or we can trade Ethereum, or we can trade Solana. One thing, of course, is that in bear markets, you will get counter trend rallies. So you will get these crazy scam pumps, these crazy squeezes, sometimes only a wick, sometimes it'll last multiple days, and there will even be times where it will last multiple weeks, where we get a counter trend rally where the market will move higher, but ultimately make a lower high and then continue again. So for example here, in 2022, you can see here we broke below the 50-week moving average, but we had this multi-week retest, bearish retest of this. Right, so for a period of several weeks, the price chopped around in a range, moved a little bit higher, and then we had the massive breakdown and the sell-off and the bear market. So it's completely possible that at some point, if we have a bear market for 12 months, that we are going to get multi-week ranges, so sideways trading, and maybe even just slight moves up. But again, it does end up making a lower high and then continues even lower. So technically, this is where we're at. This is the data. This is the 50-week moving average. This is what has happened every single time previously. And if you've been following my content, or you can go back and look at the videos I've been making over the last 6 months, I've been warning about this. I've been saying the maximum cycle length is in mid-October. We reached that. It's done. It's cooked, right? The high time frame bear divs were there. This was the final confirmation that I was waiting for, this losing the 50-week moving average, because now it's official. And as long as we are below that, the high time frame trend is bearish. And if we, for some reason, reclaim the 50-week moving average, well, then the strategy switches up and we can look at potentially longing it again. But until that happens, I am following my own rules here. I don't want to be in spot, and I want to be shorting rallies all the way down, potentially for the next 12 months until the end of 2026, which is based on the historic cycle anyways, 2014, 2018, 2022, and now we're going into 2026. It's the same cycle, the same things are repeating as much as people are saying this time is different. Well, so far it is absolutely not different. It is in fact exactly the same as what has happened every previous time. So if you want to go against that or you have a different strategy, feel free to be my guest and get wrecked if you are wrong. Either way, you should have a plan. You should have a strategy, whatever you're doing, whether you're trading, whether you're investing, whether you're holding. You should know what is your invalidation. You should know how much you can lose when you're wrong. What is your risk? Where do you get out of the market? Do not be one of those people who has no plan, who has invested way too much, and who gets absolutely destroyed if this market completely goes into a bear market and goes much, much lower. And that is why I say, for me, my focus is going to be 100% on trading throughout this bear market in the next 12 months or so. And that's what I'm doing every day. Inside my VIP, in my Discord, I share the charts, I share the setups in real time, I share my own trade ideas. And if you want to join, the link is in the description down below. There's a 60-day money-back guarantee. So come and join, check it out, see if it's for you. If you don't like it, you can get a full refund. If you like it, you learn, you stay, come make buttloads of money. That's the best case scenario. And yeah, that's the focus. So I think the bull market is over, and until we get that reclaim of the 50-week moving average, the trend is bearish, and I'm looking for lower. Smash the like button, share this with someone who needs to see this. Don't let a friend get wrecked, because there's plenty of people who are going to be stubborn, who are going to say, oh, I'm wrong, oh, you can't do this. Well, so far I've been absolutely right. Okay, I've been calling the top. I said the top was going to be in. I've been saying if we lose this, this is exactly what has been happening, right? It's what I've been saying. So there's so many people who are still bullish, who are saying, yeah, we're going to go higher. Oh, this time is different. Okay, good luck with that. What if it's not? What if I continue to be right and we go into a bear market as the data suggests, right? It's not my opinion. This is literally based on the charts and the data. So if anyone is continuing to be bullish against all these odds and you don't want to see them get wrecked, at least just send them this video so they can have this information and maybe reconsider their position. I'm not saying I'm going to be right. I'm not always 100% right, but I've been pretty right so far, and I think I'm going to continue to be right for a large part of the way. And this is a good strategy to follow because it's based on rules. You can see here it's based on the data, based on the rules. We know the invalidation. If we're looking at shorts, we're looking to be out of the market, right? Then we know, well, if Bitcoin reclaims the 50-week moving average, then maybe it's time to get back into Bitcoin and maybe take some longs on alts also as a trade, right? But for now, I'm not touching that stuff because I think we are going lower. So smash the like button, subscribe, share this to a friend, join VIP, come and join. You can learn so much, pretty much guaranteed. Come and join, link in the description down below, and I'll see you in the next video.